I feel like maybe the questions that I might have about Battlestar Galactica and the Cylons are not the same questions that the creators of the show might have. So I just finished season 4, episode 10, in which they made it to Earth and find out that it's a wasteland, and everyone was like, Earth is gonna save us, and now they're like, Earth isn't gonna save us because it's a wasteland. And I was all like, oh man, they made it and Laura's not dead. That's crazy because she's supposed to die. A lot of things have happened. Now the 4 members of the Cylons have been revealed, and some people are like, I'm gonna stick with the Cylons, and by that I mean Troy, the woman with the beautiful hair who was banging Gaius. She's gonna be with the Cylons, whereas the other members, which we have Tyrell, Sam, and Ty, appear to still want to hang with the humans, so we'll see how that goes. Adama brought up some interesting questions in saying that, Ty, I've known you for 30 years, there's no way you could have been a Cylon this entire time. And he's like, I don't know, Bill, I am, so, like, my bad, but I just found out, like, back there at the Nebula, and it's been a few months, and I haven't really known what to do about it, but, like, maybe we wouldn't be at this point right now if I had just, like, let you know, and then you threw me at an airlock, so, cool. My questions are more like, who is, like, the number one Cylon, right? Like, who decided of the Cylon engineers that they should make Cylons that look like humans? Also, they said something like the Cylons haven't figured out how to breed, but Tyrell had a baby with his wife Callie, and he's part Cylon, and so now they have a Cylon half baby. Athena has a Cylon half baby. Ty knocked up Caprica 6, and that's going to be a full Cylon baby, apparently, if that whole thing comes to fruition. So when Caprica 6 was all like, Gaius, this is going to be the shape of things to come, like, we have to protect Hera with our lives, this is going to be our baby. Like, some of this shit was just like a fucking smoke screen that the writers put in there, because I swear to God they had no idea what they were doing with the show. And maybe they did, okay? Maybe the writers of the show are going to come for me on this YouTube channel that nobody watches, but they probably won't. And what I'd like to say is, fill me in on the backstory, okay? Tell me how Ty and Adama have known each other for 30 years, and the man's aging, and he has memories of his life and times as a man living. And so does Boomer, for example, and so does Athena, for example. So the question is, are those memories implanted, and if so, what is the point in doing that for them? Additionally, if the Cylons that are the last 5 Cylons who were living with the human race this entire time didn't just, like, spawn, you know, as fully formed adult people in just the population one day, how did they get there? Were they like put in an orphanage? Were they like adopted? Does that mean that Cylons actually can have babies, and like the engineer of the Cylons did create Cylon babies and then put them in an orphanage for this overall plan that they keep saying that they had, that they don't really have have anymore. And maybe in these last fucking goddamn 11 episodes, just 11 more hours of my life where I have to care about your space politics. Maybe they're gonna reveal more about how things actually came to be. But right now, I'm just kind of like annoyed, and I'd really love for them to wrap the story up because honestly, there's not enough drama and there's not enough sex and there's not enough like mystery to keep me into it. And I know that they'd won awards for like the coolest new sci-fi show, making sci-fi accessible to everyone in like 2004 or 5 or whatever. But it's been 20 years, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I watched The X-Files, and that shit kept me guessing the whole time. And even though Chris Carter really lost the plot there at the end, I still loved every second of it. And I gotta say, I'm not finding that. I'm not finding that happening. I know these are two very different shows, but the political, and don't come at me and be like the X-Files were political. I don't give a shit what you think. The whole, I just get so tired of politics, and for some reason, the aspect of politics in space makes me so goddamn tired. And just shut up, okay? What I want you to focus on is the science fiction, all right? I want you to tell me more about how the hybrid works. I want you to tell me more about how the cylons work. I want you to tell me about how Tyrell, how these people lived their lives. I want you to tell me about whether or not their memories are implanted. I want you to tell me about if their parents were real. I want you to tell me about how they got to Earth. I want you to tell me if there are Cylon babies, what like the hierarchy of Cylons there are. Who's Cylon number 1? Who invented a Cylon smart enough to make Cylons that looked like humans, or was it a human engineer? That's what I want, okay? That's what I want, okay? Just like in the way that when Alien was a thing, I want them to do a show where they do backstory on what Weyland-Yutani is, like who they are, and what the point was about trying to weaponize the xenomorphs. I want that backstory, okay? Like, it's cool that we jumped in on the spaceship and that the alien is there and that Sigourney Weaver is looking like a babe, saving everyone's life, being the most logical, put together, intelligent person. Shout out to her. I want the backstory, and that's what I'm missing. That's what's making me care less and less about what actually happens, because I feel like they have just spent 4 seasons trying to build you with more and more empathy for the Cylons, for the humans, and like at this point, I'm like, honestly, I don't care if everyone just dies in space, because you guys are tracking out getting to a goddamn habitable planet so hard. And I don't know why I was so impressed when I watched this in 2009. It must have been this, and it must have been because I was lonely. But now I'm an adult, and I'm like, I don't know, you guys. I feel like you're just taking way too long, and there's a lot of he said, she said. Should we believe them? I don't know. Maybe they're a Cylon, maybe they're not a Cylon, I don't know. And then we got Gaius Baltar in the background pretending he's some sort of prophet now, and he and Six, like, aren't even, their whole mind meld thing isn't even really happening anymore. It's just, what made it so fun and unique and spontaneous and original in like the first 2 seasons has quickly faded away in the crunch time. And you're gonna make me dedicate 21 episodes of my life to this last season, and I just gotta say, I don't even know if I want to watch the last 11 episodes. I've read some of the synopses, and I'm like, okay, so Ellen comes back at some point? That's weird. I just, is everyone a ghost or an angel or a demon? Like, that would be cool. I know they're not going to answer any of the questions that I have about the Cylons, and like, that's what I care about now. I just want to be just enrobed in sci-fi. I don't want to hear about your space politics anymore, because it makes it harder and harder for me to identify with the show, because I don't care.